I want to start with the production issues. You know, we always hear these dribs and drabs, but now we hear that all 3 iPhones, orders of all of them, are being cut. You know, how alarming is this?
It's very alarming. This happened a year ago when the first iPhone X came out, and actually the results turned out to be pretty good when they reported in April. The difference now is that when Apple recently reported, they said they were going to stop reporting unit sales, and that's really made investors a lot more concerned. So you know, you have these supply chain reports all the time. Apple sometimes cuts orders for specific reasons. It doesn't want to use that supplier, it wants to use this supplier. But this time, there seems to be a lot more suppliers, and with this idea that they're not reporting unit sales, investors are much more nervous this time around.
Right. Now, these reports are all investors and analysts are going to have to rely on to make their judgment calls. You know, we had Gene Munster on last week who said he thinks investors are missing the story. It's really not that big of a deal. They're still going to sell a lot of phones, and they're making, you know, they're successfully making a transition to becoming more of a services company. What do you make of that argument?
I think the point on the more expensive phones versus the cheaper phones that you were talking about in the intro is kind of important. Apple has actually gone out of its way to make a very wide range of iPhones available. You can buy a new one for under $500, something like that, which is relatively cheap in the US. And so I think they are making a conscious effort to say you can buy our super fancy one for $1,000, or you can buy one for half that. Apple really has never done that with an iPhone until probably this year, and so I do believe that actually they really do want to get to a point where they just have the most amount of devices out there. It doesn't matter whether it's the newest one, and then they try and sell services. The key question though is whether these services are going to be any better than all the other ones out there. Like, is the video one going to be better than Netflix? That's still a big question mark, and next year is going to be a huge test for that.
Well, all eyes are going to be on that revenue number at the end of the holiday quarter. Now, I want to talk to you about this interview that Tim Cook did with Axios, where he defended, you know, Tim Cook has been out there criticizing companies like Google and Facebook for the way that they handle user data and profit off of it. Now he's defending the fact that Google is the default search engine on the iPhone. He said, I think their Google search engine is the best. Look at what we've done with the controls we've built in. We have private web browsing. We have intelligent tracker prevention. What we've tried to do is come up with ways to help our users through the course of their day. It's not a perfect thing. I'd be the first person to say that, but it goes a long way to helping. You know, so here now, he has made a point to criticize others. What do you think of his argument as to why they continue to make Google the default search engine?
It goes to a really good point about Google search, which is still, we've been talking a lot about data privacy and things like that, and the deal that we all make is there's a really good service and we give up our data in return for that, and Facebook is a great example of where that's being tested, and maybe some people are saying I don't have to use Facebook, but Google search is a lot different, right? You're out and about, you need to know something, you got your iPhone, you type it in and you get a good result. Really, Tim Cook can't sell an iPhone without a good search engine on it. Maybe he could do Bing and that would be okay. Siri is not good enough, and they've tried some search stuff themselves, and it's just such a huge job that basically they've given up and done this deal. And if you're going to put Google on your phone, you may as well take billions of dollars from them for it.